I'll take a look at some of the news out on the day, and firstly starting off with how the market performed. Looking at that NSE 20 blue chip index, up by 0.6%, 4,860 points is where it ends off the week, ends off this Thursday's trade. Of course, it is a public holiday in South Africa tomorrow, so of course ending of the week here in South Africa from a trading perspective, but certainly not in Kenya. Looking at the currency and how it's faring, 85.6 against the greenback, flat as it stands. Well, joining us from our Nairobi studios to get an update on what's taking place in the market, Catherine Karita, General Manager at NIC Securities. Catherine, thanks so much for joining us today. So before we get into market activity, let's just take a look at, of course, the results of the election and the petition to the election results by Raila Odinga. What are Kenyans sensing right now as to what might take place? What type of, I suppose, from an investment perspective, would you see when it comes to positioning? Is it a big deal right now, given the fact that, of course, we have seen such a smooth election process to date?
Yes, I mean, it is a big deal, and everybody's been watching the rulings of the Supreme Court sessions. We are not making any judgment until we hear from the verdict on Saturday with what the judges will say regarding this. But it has been keen on everybody's radar this week, and we're glad it will be coming to an end on Saturday, hopefully. But that has not really slowed down our market this week. As you've mentioned, the index did move up slightly, and it has been actually gaining slightly each trading session this week. So for a short week, we did see it do well.
Yeah. And as you say, it is a short week as well in Kenya. So when it comes to positioning in the market, of course, we've seen a lot of results come through. So it's, you know, got those hard and fast numbers to be able to make investment decisions going forward now. What's your positioning in the market? Any specific sectors that you see as undervalued at this point?
I don't think anything is undervalued at this point. A lot of things are trading way above you know, the valuations that we've had out. The banking sector continues to show a lot of momentum in terms of traded volumes, in terms of price. Just today we saw KCB rally up again to touched 41. We've seen equity do a high of 35 today actually, but close on an average of 33.25. So I think the market has been quite resilient. Foreigners have been participating in the market as well, accounting for about 45 to 50% of the trades we've seen this week. So as much as we're keeping an eye on the political scene, the markets are reacting quite positively.
I mean, you talk about the bank sector, and of course it has been a theme where banking stocks have certainly been in vogue since the end of December. But one of the bank stocks that's undervalued, CFC Stanbic, I mean, it's priced to book 1.5 times the banking sector, trading with that price to book of 2 times. Do you see opportunities for value in this specific bank stock right now, or any reason why it's trading at a discount relative to its peers?
Well, we did see CFC Stanbic stock rally up to 68 shillings right after the results a couple of weeks ago. I think the momentum lost was as a result of the new petitions and everybody having a wait-and-see approach. It has gained marginally this week because it was coming off a base of 55, and now we saw it go to about 60 today. I do think there is room for more upside on the stock, but also liquidity remains an aspect here because a lot of it is owned by Standard Bank, 60% of it, and that liquidity creates that, I think, price holdback.
Now, staying in the banking sector, it seems that Family Bank, which we know has intention to list on the stock exchange, is planning another rights issue. Its net profits recently posting a rise of almost 60%. So the bank's doing really well, and of course looking to raise further capital. Do you think that given the fact that it's looking to boost its balance sheet, it could compete more effectively with other banks in Kenya and could, in fact, increase market share on the back of this?
Absolutely. Let's not forget Family Bank had just come into the market last December for another cash call where they took in about 1.2 billion for the expansion. The new information of a new rights issue possibly next year is also for expansion on the retail and corporate lending book. And they have been on OTC for quite some time, and it could be also an opportunity for them to prepare for a listing by introduction, trying to get into that market share while they still can.
Now just moving into the brewery space, it seems that a former Ebel boss who in fact came to work for Brand House here in South Africa, Gerald Mahinda, is now moving to Diageo's Africa Spirits Transformation Unit. And of course, this has been a fast-growing region for Ebel, given the fact that Ebel is now, we know, owned by Diageo. Could this be good news overall for Ebel's growth plans in the spirits space?
Yes, that would definitely be good news. I would think so. Let's not forget Gerald Mahinda was the former boss of EABL as well. So this news could be definitely good for EABL in Kenya and for the region as well.
Yeah, but how big a part of their overall earnings is it at this point in time? Do you see it as a key driver of growth going forward?
It's hard to tell at this point. I haven't looked at the numbers, but I think it could definitely be an area where they'll be looking to explore.
So throw forward to next week when everyone's had a good Easter break, and of course we start a new month. So what are your expectations from the market? Any specific stocks we should be looking out for?
I think we continue to look at the banking stocks. I think Safaricom is one to look at as well as Centum. Centum has been moving up this week. It's trading below its NAV at the moment, but we saw it touch 2025. Their full year also ends this month. So I think a lot of people have been looking at that stock, have been seeing how undervalued it is and trying to get in position. They also have huge plans on their real estate, and they should be breaking ground mid this year. So I think that's a good stock to be looking at. Safaricom full year as well closes in March, and we should be looking for good numbers come May.